Hi guys, this video is a follow-up guide to my previous video on export terminologies like CNG, development build, config plugins, etc. Okay, so in my next video would be implementing React Native edge to edge. So I just wanted to explain how NPX or Expo Prebuild will be used in a real-world application, right? So in my next video, I'll be explaining how you can implement edge to edge inside your React Native application for Android 16 compatibility, right? So you can see that video about how all of this, right? But I'm going to take this as an inspiration for what would be the workflow of a Expo based app, right? So here, our objective is to enable edge to edge in our React Native application. So what you can do is you can go to this particular library and then you can install it. Okay. So inside your application, you can first install this particular library. That's the first step. Okay. And then if it was a bare React Native flow, what you would do is you would simply go into the native files like no, the styles.xml and add these stuff. Okay. But in Expo, it is completely different. So what you need to do is you need to go to this app.json or app.config.json and then add this and then create a new build. Okay, I will show you how Expo excels in this developer experience or the DX of like all of these native changes, etc. Okay, so now for a bare React Native flow, I have to go into all these files and make these changes. But in Expo, I can simply copy this and go to app.json and then place it here. Okay, and once I have done that, I have to create a new build. So I'll go to this link. Okay, so create a new build, create a development build or etc. The thing is, as I said, is slightly confusing, right? So what you have to do when you create a new what you have to do is you have to first install this command. But I will go to the top and explain one by one. Okay, when you create a new Expo app, you start off with a project where you update the JavaScript code on your local machine and view the changes in Expo Go app. That is true. A development build is essentially your own version of Expo Go where you are free to use any native libraries, change any native config. In this guide, they will show you, right? So my purpose is to add edge to edge to my app. Now, not to do that, I am installing this library, but to change the native files, I have to copy this and paste it, and then I have to create a new build. In order to create a new build inside a new like a Expo project, I have to first install this. Okay, and then once I install this, I have to run the command of expo prebuild. So let's test this out in a new project. Okay, so I will go back and then I will create a new file called npx expo create.doc. Okay, something like that. Right, once this particular project will be created. Yes, right. So a project will be created. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this particular library just like that. Okay, I'm not going to go into the details. You can see that in my next video. Okay, so a new project will be created and then I will show you what to do next. Okay, the project has been successfully installed and created. So I'll go into that project and then I'm going to install this library. Okay, and then the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to run npx expo prebuild. Okay, you can see it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work properly here. Now what I'm going to do, you see, I'm going to scroll down and then I'm going to install this one. Okay, and then I'm going to install this. So once I install this, but once I install this, you can see I'm getting this random error, which I personally don't understand, right? So how to fix this? I'm going to show you live debugging, okay, with help of Stack Overflow. So I'm going to copy this and literally paste it here and add expo, right? Once I do that, here they're saying it as expo router config plugin error, and they're also showing this one. So I'm going to tap on this, and then if I scroll down, this is the accepted answer. So I'm just simply going to npm install this and then tap on that, right? You can see that particular package has been installed, and then what I'm going to do is I'm again going to install this dev client, right? Once that is done, right, so the next step is, okay, I've installed this particular project, so let's do it once again. And then once I have done that, I'm going to copy this one. Once I have copied that, I am going to go into the doc folder and then go to app.json, scroll down, and in the plugins, I'm going to add it. Okay. And in the plugins, I'm going to add it. Now, see, I have added it. Add the library plugin in app.config.json for config file and create a new build. So, to create a new build, what you have to do? You have to first go here and then you have to run the command called, this is EAS. You are going to run this in EAS. Okay, that is the cloud. Okay, but in order to do that locally, run npx expo prebuild. Once you do that, you see it's saying Android package name has been created, bundle name has been created. Okay, before there was no Android and iOS folder. Okay, so I'm going to remove them. Okay, so in order to remove them, okay, I'm going to remove it. Okay, so what I'll do, I will remove these folders and I will show you live. Okay, I do it, and then if I run npx expo prebuild, you can see iOS and Android and iOS folders are being generated again. Okay, now I will show you. I will go to app and then source, main, Android, not res, and then values and styles. Okay, here you see it has been automatically added to. It has been automatically added to the native files. Okay, before this, what you had to do, you had to go to the native files and add all those things. Now, no, it you just install the library and then add this here and just simply run npx expo prebuild and it will automatically be configured. Okay, now I want to change the parent theme from default to material theme. Let's do it. So I'm going to go here and then change this from parent theme to material 3 and this to 2. Okay, once I have done that, I'll go here. This is false. Okay, see carefully. This is done. Now I'm simply going to run it again. Okay, once I have done that, it's okay. It's removed. Okay, here you can see at the top it was default. It default means it won't be there. Now it's material 3, right? And the same one, you have to explicitly note it as false or it will be removed if it's true. Okay, so just by simply changing the app.json or app.config.js and then once you did that and you ran the command, it automatically worked. Okay, now one more library which I will be explaining in the upcoming videos, which is expo-video. Right, I'll be making a separate series on expo-video, but for now, it will the upcoming video will be about picture in picture, which is pip. Right, so I'm going to install this library. Okay, I'm going to install this library and then see carefully. So I'll go back again to Android manifest.xml and then run the command again. Okay, nothing happens here. Okay, now in the plugins, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this again and I'm going to go here and paste it. Okay, it's already there. So I'm going to go here and paste it. Okay, once I have done that, you see there is no picture in picture. Okay, there is no supports picture in picture in the manifest.xml. I will check it here. Okay, now once I have changed stuff in app.json, I simply have to go and rerun the command. Once I have rerun the command, if I check it again, you can see it's there. Right, that is the stuff, like that is the powerful feature of Expo. You can see, bro. Like I can do this manually with React Native CLI. Why I have to do the Expo, right? The thing is, rather than spending your mental bandwidth on all the external stuff, you can simply external stuff like this. You can simply focus on product development rather than focusing on all these external activities, which the Expo team has already taken care of. Right. So that's it. That's the feature that I wanted to say. And the next development flow would be if you want to add one more library called video thumbnails or whatever it is, and then make some changes there. You can also do, right. So that's the power of what Expo Prebuild to do it locally. But as he has mentioned here in this link, I'll go back again there. Here they are saying create a development build, but if you do this right, it will build in the cloud. We are running it in the local side. You can also do it in the cloud. Okay. So what happens if you do it in the cloud? You can send those particular builds to your teammates and your boss, etc., for them to test. All those things I will explain in the upcoming months. For now, first understand what is the difference between NPX Expo Prebuild and EAS Build. Okay, NPX Expo Prebuild is to is for development flow in the local site. EAS Build, what is this? I'll scroll up. EAS Build is for the cloud, to send it to internal testing, etc. Okay, so you can use both. The thing is, if you use ES Build, it costs money. It will cost money like 30 bills per month, right? But if you do Expo Prebuild, it will run in the local or in the development side. Okay, so that's it for this particular video. In the previous one, I didn't mention this clearly, so I have took some time and made a more short 10-minute video on this, so that you will understand more about how the development flow works. So to conclude this video, I'll just give you a small step-by-step process. If you are going to add a new library called expo-video, or this particular React Native edge to edge, you install it, you add it in the app.json and run npx prebuild for local and ES build for the online, like the cloud stuff. Okay, that's it. And in my next video, I'll be explaining how you can enable this edge to edge in your Expo React Native app for Android 16 compatibility. Okay, so I'll see you in the next.